We are live. Hello, hello. I'm so glad that you dropped in. If you dropped in and this is your first time, welcome to Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak. My name is Sandra Jennings. I'm really excited about today's guest, Denavvia Mojet. She is the co-founder, I should say, and executive director of the Black and Brown Cannabis Guild, and truly a pioneer for justice. She has, I think I'm going to have her explain the 5 city-wide expungement event that's coming up at the end of this month. Denavvia, you are live, baby.
Good afternoon. Well, good evening. Good
How
evening.
are
Thank you
you?
for having me.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about the event coming up, because you are passionate about justice. I'm also passionate about justice, and although I can't help a whole lot, I'll help when I can. But
You
talk to
always
me.
help.
Thank you. Talk to me about, first of all, I guess your passion for justice, just a little bit, because we definitely got to talk about this event.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I guess my background when it comes to how I landed here as the founder and executive director of BBCG is most certainly because of my love for equity and justice. I believe that, practicing equity is a way to get to justice, a way to achieve justice. And so, expungement has been a natural pathway to that for a lot of the communities that were really negatively impacted by war on drugs policy. I tell people I'm a data nerd, and the war on drugs has been like the single largest driver of mass incarceration for Black people. And as a Black woman, and as a woman raising a little Black boy, looking at the systems that are designed to impact us in different ways, it makes me want to fight back against that. And I think I've been like that my whole life. I'm not from Grand Rapids. I'm from Benton Harbor, Michigan. And I think Benton Harbor is where I saw my first major testaments to injustice. And I think even then, my love for being on the side of what's right, and also, my passion for the underdog. I think some of us just have this natural inclination to really want to see underdogs like win. And growing up, I felt like my city was an underdog, and some of the powers that be, some of the systems at that time, Republican governors who were practicing emergency manager laws. I felt that those things weren't fair and those things weren't just. And I just thought that we should all be looking for ways to fix what's wrong or what's been done. So that's how we got here to this point.
I agree with you. So tell me, what is expungement? Like, what does it mean? What is the impact? What is
it? So anybody with a rap sheet, anybody who's ever, gotten a felony or a misdemeanor conviction on their record, kind of understands how it impacts you, right? I never really have to explain that. Right. 1 in 3 Michiganders has something on their record, right? Has a record in existence, which means we are such a incarceration heavy and a criminalizing and a carceral state in this country. People pretty much understand what happens once you get labeled a convict, the stigma, the barriers, right? It impacts your employment. It impacts your housing, your scholarships, just because you have to disclose. When they ask to hire you, they say, please list all misdemeanors, times, dates, what happened. And if you don't disclose it, they will then run your background check, pull your public record, and then still treat you like a convict because of whatever they found on that record. Expungement is the legal process of having a judge either seal or erase that from your public record so that you no longer have to disclose it, A, and B, so it no longer shows up on your public record. That basically is just a form of opening the doors back up for somebody to access opportunity. Expungement is only possible for certain crimes. They're only possible after a certain amount of time has passed. But what we have done at BBCG, especially in the last 3 years, if I can go back, what we've done is not just focus on pointing someone to paperwork, which is, hey, here's the motion and the form that you need to fill out to try to get an expungement, but actually just closing the gap entirely, right? If we know you're going to need that form or that motion notarized, having notaries there. If we know you're going to need your fingerprints, partnering with someone who does fingerprints, so you can go get those done for free, or paying a fingerprint vendor right there to do fingerprint cards for us, or having attorneys that can talk you through what needs to go into that motion and who can help as liaisons for you when it comes to interfacing with that circuit court, or helping you prepare for that hearing if you're required to have a hearing, or just educating you on what things on your record will automatically be wiped away in 60 days if there's no opposition versus what things actually require you to go back and have a court judicial hearing. Those are things that a lot of us don't know, right? Processing an expungement statute or a stack of bills is not something that everybody does in their spare time. I do that in my spare time, but I know everybody doesn't. And so for a long time, even though expungement has been an option, a lot of people didn't utilize it. And so that's what we were trying to do. We wanted to educate people on the fact that this Michigan has laws on the books, always has, for the most part, that allow people after a long period of time has passed to have things removed from their record. The problem wasn't that, there was an expungement process. It was that most people didn't know. And once you did know about the process, it was really hard to navigate. And eligibility was restrictive, right? That would be the third thing, which is that a lot of people weren't eligible. And so, yeah, we now have pushed, the laws have changed. More people than ever are eligible. And in addition to seeing more people be eligible, there's new ways to make it easier for folks to get those records cleared, some of which don't involve going before a judge, which is exciting. And so we're just there to close the gap. We're going to bring lawyers, we're going to bring notaries, we're going to bring the paperwork, we're going to bring the computers, we're going to bring all of those pieces together to help people get their lives back. And then we're going to connect them to our network of resources. Essentially, we don't call our events clinics. It's not popping up to be treated like a case file and sent home. It's not that cold, that surgical, or that weird. They're fairs. There's music playing. There's some food if you want to, go buy a plate. There's typically, what booths where you can tell your story. There's other resources that you may need. We have our pipeline to employment that connects people to jobs in the cannabis industry. If you don't want to work in the cannabis industry, there are other employers on site, staffing agencies for felon-friendly, convict-friendly employers.
And this is going to be at the actual events, right?
So each city's different, but yes, essentially they're the same model, which is that we're throwing a resource fair for that broader community. And we are doing, like you said, 5 cities, 7 days, just for our historic celebration of Expungement Week, which we kind of do with all the other folks around the country as well.
So what cities are we talking about? We starting with, is it Detroit on Saturday?
We start with Flint. So we go from Saturday to Saturday. I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
Next Friday is our virtual webinar. So we'll talk about, how the flow of things will go next Friday on our Facebook page as well. So I encourage people to make sure they subscribe there so they, get the reminder and whatnot. But Saturday, we start in Flint, Michigan. We're going to be at Mott Community College in the Ballinger Fieldhouse. It's really, really exciting. The infrastructure that we've seen pulled together in Flint, from the attorneys to the folks at Mott Community College to our partners at Cresco Labs, who are using this as an opportunity to kind of activate people around some activism that we want to see in cannabis, freeing people that are still currently locked up for cannabis charges. And then a whole slew of resource partners, not just through the college, but through the city of Flint, through Genesee County. Okay. So that's going to be Saturday. That's going to be Saturday. Then on Tuesday that week, we are in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
That'll be the 28th of September.
BDCG's home base. That 28th of September is also National Voter Registration Day. So we're encouraging folks to learn about the upcoming election, pull their sample ballot, check their registration while they wait for their attorneys. But it's also still a resource fair. It will be at Life Quest. It will be outside. So that fenced-in parking lot, we're just going to have Venus Flytrap, the DJ, playing some music. We're going to have all types of community partners out there. Special shout out to the Grand Rapids African American Community Task Force. So that's Tuesday. The next day, we're going to be in Ben Harbor. 5 to 9, we got approved by the city of Ben Harbor to just activate Broadway Park. If you are from my city, you know Broadway Park. It slaps. We're about to be out there having a great time. Same thing, lawyers, resources, opportunities to get help. That's going to be Wednesday night. And then fast forward to the weekend, we have our next 2 cities, Muskegon, which was all initiated by Commissioner Ken Johnson and the team at RARE. Shout out to Erica and Ken. But we're going to be at the Muskegon Farmers Market Friday, and it's going to be an afternoon expungement fair. So really between 3 and 7 is really when we're going to be doing most of the legal support and programming. There's a stage there at the farmers market. There's plenty of stalls. There's going to be lots of resources. And so that's going to be in Muskegon. And then we are going to finish the week of action, the Michigan Expungement Week lineup, in the D. We're going to be in Detroit at the Horatio Williams Foundation building, right downtown, right next to Ford, where the Ford field is. And that's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be a good time. Detroit is the right way to end it. We wrap up there at 3:30, and then we're off to go do our volunteers, organizers only happy hour, end of the week in Detroit. We're going to let our hair down. We're going to breathe, and we're going to call our week done. But we encourage folks who are interested in helping out right now. Registration opens Friday for people who need expungements. But technically, people can go to our Clean Slate website now, and they can sign up to volunteer. They can sign up to, they can email us and get flyers.
We still need attorneys.
We're always signing up attorneys. Absolutely. You can never have
we need notaries.
And all of that's on the website, bbcannabis.com/cleanslate. For everything.
Okay, yeah. Beautiful. So if I am a person with a mark on my record, what do I do now? Do I have to pre-register for
so Friday at noon, the sign-up forms, registration forms for all cities open up.
And that is this Friday. What is it?
Friday the 17th.
17th? Okay.
17th, noon Eastern Standard Time.
Everything opens up.
All those buttons will officially pop open the registration form. When you register, we purchase your background check. We start processing your expungement to determine whether or not you're eligible. But you already have your file and things ready for the in-person event. We can correspond with you over email once we have your file, or when you come to the event. The way we're going to do it is there are going to be 2 different lanes at check-in. There are the people who pre-registered, who are just fast-tracked to go meet with an attorney. They're like, hey, check in, you're here, boom, go meet with your attorney. For the folks that do not register ahead of time, it is going to be a much longer wait. And I think people have to understand, right? It takes time to do consults with attorneys, to work on these motions, then to go over to the mailing, print 6 copies, put all the sticker labels on the envelopes, get the notary seal. Like, those things take time. It definitely saves you so much time to literally just register ahead of time. We are not requiring it. It's not mandated registration this year for any of our cities. In fact, if you want to walk up, that's no problem. We will still process everything the same way. We'll download your iChat right there. We'll have a station where you can pull your iChat. You can print a copy of it. You can then get added to the queue to go meet with an attorney after your waiting period. When they call you over, you can still get the help you need. They can still draft your motion. They can still confirm your eligibility. They can still send you to go get mailing, notaries, and then we schedule your appointment for fingerprints offsite. So like in Muskegon, they'll be scheduled an appointment to go get their free fingerprints at the county clerk's office. For example, in Flint, they'll be scheduled to go get their fingerprints for free from the sheriff's department at Genesee County. So those folks are providing fingerprinting services for free. They just have to go get them. So that's kind of the way the process is going to work. People definitely need to register. I can't say it enough. Please, please, please register ahead of time. That's so important, especially now at COVID and things like that. Obviously, we want to organize these events. We want to help a lot of people, but everything we can do to mitigate maybe having, the bigger crowds and instead just having a steady stream of people who we know are coming, who we've pulled records for already, that's important to us. So I can't say enough that people need to make sure Friday when the registration links open, that they go to the website and register ahead of time.
Okay, awesome. What did we forget? I don't want to forget anything. Vital information I see that we didn't get any comments or questions. So, okay. Good. I always get people in my inbox. What about expungement? This is the 4th expungement you've had, right?
This is our 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th expungement fairs.
Okay.
We did 2019. We did 2020. We did 2 in 2021 already this spring, Benton Harbor and Grand Rapids in April. So this fall, we'll be doing our 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th resource fairs.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the website is up there. They can go to your page. They can go to the Black and Brown Cannabis Guild on Facebook.
They can.
to learn some information. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if I included that in our intro. I don't think I put the Facebook page on there, but so they can inbox you, they can inbox me. Be
Yes.
patient and please be prepared to potentially wait on, you know, expungement day for the event that you show up at,
I
because
mean, not if you register. If you register ahead of time, it should move fairly quickly for you. But if you don't register, then yes, you should definitely be prepared to wait.
okay, beautiful. All
Yeah.
right, any parting thoughts? Oh, I have one. The
Okay.
Black and Brown Cannabis Guild just obtained their 501c3. Yay!
Good. Yes. Yes. We got
It's a
that
nonprofit
finally. We've been
organization.
talking about that for 3 years, but yes, we are officially a federally recognized charity. And that's exciting.
Beautiful. That
That means
is.
any donations to us financially or in kind will
Mhm.
be tax deductible for donors. And I think that's a huge incentive to support the work that we're doing. So folks
And
can
as
donate
a
on our
board
website too.
member, we can ask for money from anyone, foundations, anyone, and we can qualify for them. So yeah,
Yeah, we're going to help a lot of people. This is just the beginning for our organization. I know it seems like we've been around for a while. So to some folks, we're kind of a staple, and to others, we're just now, kind of coming into all that we can do and all that we can cover as an organization. And I think that's exciting.
okay, beautiful. Thank you for your time. I know you're always on the run. You have any parting thoughts as we close it
No,
out?
just thank you so much for having us here on Passion Speaks. This is obviously what I'm passionate about: cannabis justice, the cannabis industry, all the opportunities in it for folks. And I know there are so many other people that are passionate about expungement services and helping their families and just how to get into the cannabis industry. So these conversations I will always make time for. I'm really, really appreciative of
Beautiful.
you creating this platform for us.
Thank you. I appreciate you too. All
Yeah.
right, everyone. Thanks for joining in. This has been Passion Speak. We'll see you next time.